every week, tune in for the review. Mr. and Mrs. Chat serving hot like they do. Stand clear of the sidelines, we on the attack. Big Blue Tees, the podcast, ain't no looking back.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Big Blue Tee. Okay, let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive on the New York Giants, specifically their 2025 first-round draft strategy.
Yeah, looking at Abdul Carter and Jaxson Dart.
Exactly. And we've got some interesting stuff here based on comments from Giants assistant GM Brandon Brown.
Right, and the mission really is to get behind the why of these picks. Not just the players, but the strategy.
Because Brown framed these guys, Carter and Dart, not just as players, but as strategic blue-chip investments. That sounds pretty deliberate.
Oh, absolutely. It signals they weren't just reacting to the board or, filling immediate gaps. It's about building something foundational.
Foundational, like building blocks for the team's identity long-term.
Precisely. Think long-term identity, sustained success, not just a quick fix for one season. That seems to be the message coming through.
Okay, so if that's the overarching philosophy, how did it lead them specifically to Carter, the linebacker, and Dart, the QB, in round one?
Well, Brown talked a lot about fit and football IQ. It wasn't just talent evaluation in a vacuum.
Right, not just highlight reels.
No. It was comprehensive scouting, really digging into the tape, and importantly, projecting how these players fit not just now, but like down the road in their future roster.
Future roster forecasting, okay.
Yeah.
So let's break that down. What was the specific fit for Carter they saw?
Explosiveness. Brown highlighted that trait for Carter, bringing that immediate juice to the linebacker group, something they felt was critical for their defensive style.
That makes sense. You need those disruptive players. What about Dart? Taking a QB in the first, even with other guys in the room, that's always a big statement.
It is, and they framed it as a, quote, rare opportunity. They saw a chance to grab a potential franchise-caliber arm.
A rare opportunity. Was it just the arm strength or something more about how he fits their specific plans?
It seems like a mix. The physical tools, yes, but also Brown's comments hinted at the football intelligence, the processing.
Yeah.
Evaluated through their specific lens for what works in Daboll's system.
Okay, so it connects back to that evaluation philosophy Brown mentioned, which, as you said, isn't just about, 40 times at the combine.
Definitely not. He really emphasized looking at how players will develop within the Giants system, how they'll adapt, how they'll grow into the playbook.
So it's projection, potential within their environment.
Exactly. It's that fit and growth potential, maybe more than just the raw athletic numbers you see on paper.
Makes sense. Have we seen any early signs of that fit? I know it's early OTAs and all that.
Yeah, just early glimpses, obviously. But sources noted Carter's speed off the edge was noticeable. Quickness stood out.
Okay.
And with Dart, there were mentions of him looking comfortable, showing some poise in the pocket. Now, everyone acknowledges they're raw.
Sure, rookies in their first few practices.
Right. But those initial signs, those traits they were looking for, seem to be showing up, which is encouraging from their perspective.
So raw potential. That means the focus now shifts pretty heavily to development, right?
Yeah.
Patience is needed.
Absolutely. Development is the key word. Brown made it clear they're not rushing these guys.
So training camp, preseason. It's about finding the right path for them.
Yeah, figuring out roles, ironing out technique, bringing them along at the right pace. It's definitely presented as a long game. No pressure for immediate week one stardom necessarily.
That long game theme, it really ties it all together. What's the bigger picture the Giants seem to be painting here with these moves?
Well, they're framing it as part of building a new culture, a new blueprint for the team. Brown and Schoen, they seem committed to this strategic approach.
So Carter and Dart aren't just draft picks, they're sort of symbols of this new foundation they're trying to lay.
You could say that. Foundational bricks, as Brown put it. Players chosen specifically to fit this long-term strategic vision.
It's a different way to think about the draft, certainly. Not just who's the best player available, but who's the best fit for our multi-year plan.
Exactly. It requires a bit more patience, maybe, from the outside looking in.
Which brings us to a final thought for you listening. Given this emphasis on the long game, on development, on system fit, how should we adjust how we evaluate Carter and Dart this season?
Yeah, should we be looking purely at stats, or should we be looking for signs of growth, understanding of the system, those developmental milestones.
Does immediate impact matter as much if the plan is truly about year 2, year 3, and beyond? Something to chew on.
Definitely food for thought as the season approaches.
All right, that wraps up our deep dive into the Giants' thinking behind their 2025 first-rounders.
All right, well, I think that just about wraps things up for this deep dive.
Yeah, seems like a good place to pause.
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And, a huge shout out always to Black Freezy TV.
Oh,
For
definitely.
the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep, their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.